think this is recording. Yes, okay. So since I last spoke to you a few days ago, things have progressed to get a lot worse. And I thought a little at the time maybe I was being a bit paranoid and things. I thought they're horrible people working there, but they can't be that evil. It turns out I was not exaggerating at all. So I had to go and confront this terrible manager that works there, and horrible person. And she informs me, oh, the gas man will come whenever he can. And then she also informs me this: I have to write it down or I wouldn't remember. So this is what she told me. She said that I swore at a member of her staff, meaning that girl, the one that the Saturday ago, that lied, by the way, blatantly to me, telling me the man had not been out when he had been out. And then she lied again. I didn't actually swear at her. If I did, it wouldn't be a big deal anyway. But that's a step to evicting me, apparently. Anyway, I didn't actually swear at her. I wished I had. I hadn't actually sworn at her. I just said, why were you so vindictive and malicious? But maybe she needs to show us, because she might think that's swear words. I don't know, with a limited vocabulary. Anyway, let's get on with it. This is what the manager said to me. I'm not putting any names down so they can't remove it off here. I'm another step closer to evicting you. I've been working really hard to evict you. I said, you really hate me, don't you? And she sarcastically replied, oh, at last you've cottoned on. Like that, she said to me. I said, I hate being here too. Do you think I want to be here? And then she said, well, why don't you leave today? Nothing's stopping you. You could pack up your bags. You could go today. And why don't you get the job like the rest of us? Because there's nothing wrong with you. You shouldn't be here anyway. And that's exactly what she told me. And that's, I think that's the worst of it. Yeah, that's worse what I put down then, and all that. So, and then I said, well, that's a horrible thing to say, because I am ill, because physically I was refused a job at Job Centre Plus in Chester, because they've told me that because of my ME and things, it would be very difficult for me to find any sort of work. And she just went off to the door and slammed it in my face because she's so ignorant. I can think of lots of other words too. Anyway, but we'll keep it clean for now. Anyway, so I just thought I'd let you know that that's what's happened now. So that's getting worse and worse for me. And I'm having to endure this abuse, basically. And I was just wondering, like some other people have been wondering, do you think that's a setup? Because she's trying to get me out. She said, I've been working really hard. Here we are, I've got it written down because I had to go back to the flat. I had it through my mind before I forget, and I wrote it down quickly. I'm another step closer to evicting you. I've been working really hard to evict you. So there we are. So that's why my stuff is in storage. Because do you think I'd be wasting all that money if I was happy and I'd moved into a flat? I'd have everything out straight away. I'd want the babies with me. I knew there was something wrong. You psychically know. It's not psychically, it's just your intuition. You sense it, don't you? You know when you're hated and you're not wanted in a place. And it all boils down to, because I got the police on them, because she was light-fingered. Because the staff there are light-fingered. And they stole from me. I'd only been there a bloody week. And they'd ransacked the place and stolen all sorts of stuff. And I had to report it to the police. And it's only because of that. Because they were probably caught with it. I don't know what happened. The police never let me know what goes on with that. But that's all I know, that was reported. I never heard anything since. But that was it. So I don't know. But, I mean, this is what happens. And it's awful. So I've had this noise below me now for a while. Because they're, like, making things worse. And you wonder whether they even turned the gas off for me and whether that's a hoax. But you don't know, do you? Because they can't turn the electricity off. Because I noticed when they were fixing a flat, they had to turn it off on the whole thing. So the electricity goes down. So they did that to me. The whole system would go down. But there was a man turning the gas off on the thing below. So somebody said, check that out and ring British Gas about that. So I might do that. Because I've got this old phone, free phone numbers. It should work on that. But the battery gets funny. It won't shut properly. It's not very good. It's an old phone that I've got because mine's in cash converters. But we're on here now. I'm on Steve's phone now. That's why I'm making the video while I'm out here, and I can do. but I'm heartbroken because it's not that I want to stay there, because I certainly don't. And they've been tormenting me, and I don't know whether this is a video, a recording or something, because I'm guessing it's like if any of you have seen exorcism films, and when the person is being exorcised by the priest, and the person's shouting, "Fuck off! Get away from me! Stop it! Behave!" with his gruff voice, "Fuck off!" and all these obscenities are coming out. And I don't want to put all the obscenities on there, but it's terrible stuff, and it's rah, 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 with a deep man's voice. It sounds like it doesn't sound like a person. Well, that's exactly what I've had below me, and it's been at a high-pitched volume. You wonder if they've got microphones under my bedroom thing, so you know where the bedroom is. You don't know, because it's been booming the place, and I've had it now for quite a few weeks, and I've said something, and they said, "What do you expect? He's not well." That's what people do here when they're not well. That's what I was told by one member of staff, and I thought, and all that, and they're just being so horrible to me. Some of the staff are very nice, and some of the staff, the ones that are new before they know me, are very pleasant, and then they've been told to ignore me, so they just either snub me or keep away, or just smile but don't say anything, because they don't want to be sacked, because she's the boss. The one who hates me is the boss. And I can remember the first time I set eyes on her, I was in a hotel in Southport, and this social worker, the first one, hopeless, had come along and told me I had to go there, and I wasn't happy about the situation, but I didn't think the people would be that bad. And then I saw this grim-looking couple. It was like Dickensian scene, because he looked sour and creepy. It's like the people you see on Crime Watch UK, that type of face. You can tell what people are like just by looking at the face. And I'm very good with first impressions. And well, when I saw her face, she gave me the creeps, and I thought, oh my God, there's no fucking way I'm going in a place where they're in control. That's what my first impression was of this. But then I was forced into it, because it was cold weather and they didn't give me an option. And it was very cruel, and I was forced into it. And I don't know whether social services are coercing with them, to be honest. They shouldn't be, and they should have my back. But I don't know whether they're all planning against me, because I'm certainly not paranoid with what I heard here. Because I thought maybe I'm losing the plot, maybe I am paranoid. But it turns out I'm not at all. And so I don't know if they're coercing and they're all in it together to try and push me over the edge. That's how I feel. Because they're saying, you're not coming across as suicidal. And I was told that by a social worker, a few things on the internet. I said, well, it's very funny that I'm getting all these emails that say I am, and they're concerned. And when I'm on the mental health crisis care line, they're very good, because luckily that phone can ring, that's free phone. And they're lovely on there. And they've told me to ring 999 if things get too much. Anytime, any place you are, because they're ready for me. Those ambulance men were so caring and so lovely. And they said social services would be in contact with you straight away the next day. And they didn't. And I'd love to know who they were. There should be a record somewhere, because I'd love to contact them again. They were so lovely, those two men. They spoke to me, and it was nice having some kindness being shown to me, and I miss that, and it's lovely when there's some kindness. And when I'm in a place now, I'm so unhappy, I don't have my own home, I'm shoved in this supported living complex, I'm being evicted, and so my stability's through the roof, and it's just awful. It's just awful. But they've told me that they agree with me, and these wonderful people on the mental health team to ring. Don't let them get on top of you. Anything, if you ever feel you're at risk at all of doing anything, or you feel out of control, because sometimes you do, and you feel like, I should slash my wrist, or I should throw myself in the sea, or jump off a bridge. You just get that moment where you just get a panic, where you can't cope, and all that. It's because of all the hate towards you. I think if you weren't hated, you'd feel a lot better. And because of that, it's not just the poverty, it's because of that. It's that much worse than the poverty, actually. And I think, but as they've told me, all I've got to do is ring 999, and they'll come and they calm you down and they make you feel a lot better. But I only ring if I'm really desperate, so I won't ring. But I am not in the state where I'm going to do that, but she's told me I have to. Don't do anything. And she actually cared, that woman. She was very nice. And they keep reporting it to social services, but nobody gets back to me. No. And Billy in the bus station's left numerous messages with them, and they haven't had the decency to get back to him. Because what I didn't like was the fact that the MP's office, the secretary of this MP was very nice, and he said, you need to stay in the library and somebody from social services will be out to you, because I had no money, no food, in a mess, you know. And all I've got is a pile of old rusty cans and the fucking food bank stuff, pile of beans and stuff. I must bin them, because most of them are out of date and bloody stupid. But all I've got to do is put them in a bin and just bin them. It's just laziness, really. I've just put them in the bin, that's all. It's all clean stuff. It's just stuff that I can bin easily. But I just leave it there for them now if I'm being evicted anyway. But they probably have me sleeping rough now outside. We'll watch this space and we'll see what happens, won't we? Apparently, I've got to wait for this man from the Echo, because that man said it was all feeding up to a big story. But when he's going to interview me, I don't know, for this big story. And then I've got to, I don't know, I've not heard back from him because he doesn't have my number, because we don't know my number on this other phone. And so I don't know, because I've got to wait. Again, that's for other people to do for me. It'll be probably on Steve's phone, on this phone, because he was the one who did the Echo for me. So I don't know. Anyway, he's coming back in a bit. He's just letting me record now in privacy, because he said I need to do it with no distractions. So that's what I'm doing now. But it's terrible what's happening. And I mean, such hatred. And it's only because I had the nerve to get the police on them. Because you see, the people they've got there, they can manipulate. They're drugging them up at night, every night at 8 o'clock. They're giving them their medication from the doctor. And they're zombified, basically. I mean, the woman next to me doesn't even speak. I've tried to break a conversation with her to say hello. She just glares at me. She doesn't speak. She's mute. She doesn't speak. Because she's just like that. She's just completely drugged up to the hilt. And it's very sad. And they're just wandering around the building all day, doing nothing aimlessly. And they call them care assistants. They're not doing anything much to care. And as for support, I don't see any of this. It's a bloody joke, these words they use. It's like supported. I mean, I couldn't be less supported. I'd be more supported if I was laying in a gutter. These strangers would come up and help me. Anyway, and you've got like, it's these words, the titles for these jobs. It's crazy. It's like social services. People said it's anti-social. That's what a man told me the other day. It's just everything. It's just awful because there is no help. But I don't know whether they're coercing or not. I hope they're not. But I'm just saying this because I'm just saying everything, all the fears and everything out there now. Because what is going on? That's what I want to know. My boiler's playing up mysteriously. And I know something about boilers. And when you turn it off and on, I know how to do that. Because I had trouble with my boiler. And the man when I was in Heswell, he used to come out a lot. And he told me what to do. He said, turns off, you just turn it on again. It should strike, the pilot light should come on. I know some things about it. Those two lights and that and that. And so I thought, well, that's kicking in. It wants to come on, but it's like no connection. And I thought, that's weird. Like the gas has been disconnected here. It's just things like that. And I noticed they were in a cupboard, the workmen that had come out. They were in a cupboard downstairs. They'd gone into a cupboard downstairs before they left. So maybe that's where they connect your gas. I don't know. I might be surmising that. I don't know. Maybe my imagination's running wild with me. But it's not run very wild, has it? Because if you think about it, when she tells me all these things, and that's exactly what she said, and I've written it down before I forgot, that she'd been working really hard on evicting me. She's told staff to bully me, basically, to be as nasty as they like, to make it as unpleasant as possible. Then hopefully she'll just leave, because she calls the police on us. She won't let us walk through her flat. She won't let us nick stuff like we can do with other people. I'm sure that's what's going on, and I'm sure that's why I'm saying this, because they did steal from me. And I got the police only because I was so distressed. It was a man who got the police, actually, from another block of flats further down. And he calmed me down, and he got the police, and then I just went out for the day because I was feeling so ill, and he was the one that got the police, and they were very helpful anyway, but they never got back to me to say they didn't recover anything because it was just chocolates mainly. Weird things like perfume samples, and I've noticed other things that I didn't know were missing now recently, like nail varnishes. I had a lot of nail varnish in a bag, and of course I was too distressed and unhappy to be bothered. I haven't even wanted to brush my hair. That's why it got matted. I've been so unhappy there. I've been desperately unhappy, and now it adds up why I'm so unhappy with all the hate towards me. You sense it up, your body picks it up, all the negativity. And so what happened was, I thought the other day maybe I should put some nail polish on. I can't afford anything new because I got any money, you know what I mean? So I got loads of stuff that I'd had, good stuff. It's all gone. Strange, because it was there in that bag. That's strange too. So that must have happened when they came in that time. Anyway, they put a CCTV thing in there now that's meant to link to his phone. So when I come in and I turn it off, I do exactly what he says and everything. So, and then when you go out, you put it on, battery's charged up, and then it records. So if the door opens, it'll record and it goes straight to his phone. If anybody comes through the door, then it records. So that's the best I can do and everything. And I done it right because he said I had. So that's fine with that one. But until I can get out of there, God, I wish I could get out of there. If they want me out of there, why don't they pay their way and get me out of there then? Give me a pile of money and get me out, because I want to go. I want to go more out of there than I want to get out of anything, believe me. It's bloody horrible being in there. I mean, when I first was taken, I was devastated because I couldn't stand the woman or him. I mean, he was just a surly looking man. He looked miserable. Gave me the creeps, the pair of them. But she was worse. She was definitely worse. She's like an evil vibe coming off her. Like a Melissa. What's that word? I'm hopeless. You know, Melissa. Where they're so evil, the spirits, you know. That's the word I'm looking for now. I'm hopeless. Sometimes I can't pronounce it like I'm Jonathan Ross, like with my teeth. But you know what I mean. And oh, it's just so awful. I was just so unhappy, and I didn't want to be there. And I didn't know she was that evil, but I knew she was evil, if you know what I mean. And because she's the one in charge, she can do what she likes, basically. Because I was told by another one that he wasn't being too bad to me. I think he felt sorry for the way I'd been treated. He must have known what was going on, one of the other members, and he's been talking to me now and then. How are you, Lisa, and things, breaking conversation, making it more bearable for me. And he has told, so he won't speak to me now because she's probably told him not to. He's gone a bit funny. But, you know, it's just awful because I don't know why people have such evil in them. But then again, you see all these babies on the news and these parents and things, and they found out that they've beaten a baby to death. They've killed their own child, and things like that. And evil things are happening in the world, and people are doing these evil things, like serial killers and rapists and things. And there is evil stuff going on, and you're not imagining it because it's all around you. And it's certainly all around me, I can tell you. I'm right in the fucking middle of it all. But there we are, I've sworn now, so I've had my swear, haven't I? So there you go. I wish I had sworn. I didn't get a chance to swear at her, actually. It's just long words for her, limited vocabulary, obviously. She needs a thesaurus anyway. That's besides the point. But anyway, she doesn't know what truth is because she didn't know there was a man come out, apparently. So a man hadn't been out, she told me, when he had been out, and he'd spoken to her and told me what everything, and that she'd said that, and the idiot just believed her, and, well, they're manipulative, you see. That's what it'll be. And that woman in charge has probably told them to bully me, make it as nasty for her, because she's a troublemaker. Look, we've got somebody here we can't control. We want her out. She shouldn't be here because we've got a free run here of all the flats. We can do what we like with these people. So we don't want her there because she's not retarded. We don't want her here. We can't drug her up. We can't do anything with her. She could split on us. She could see something. She could hear something. She could split on us. We could be in trouble. We've got to get her out. So let's make it as unpleasant as possible. And that is exactly what is happening. And it's come off my chest now and I feel better. And I've given no names, so this can't be taken down. I've not said where the place is. I've not given any names. So I'm completely safe on here, and this video won't be taken down. But people who know the situation will know, and it doesn't really matter if you don't. If you're in a different area, you know what I'm going through because I've told you the story of what's happening, and this is it. And suggest what you can do. But it's very difficult now because I think he's got the email linked up to the phone. His phone. He's taken my emails. He's copied all the stuff, but I don't know if he can. And I can't get back to you because he'd have to email you. It's complicated, so don't bother if you can't. It doesn't matter. But I had loads of emails in the past I've been getting sort of support, which is very nice. People, the same boat, like people who haven't got any money, people who are suffering, that type of people like me. But it's just that this is abuse now, it's quite serious. And you worry about all the people in care homes that are being abused every day and haven't got the gump to stand up for themselves, because if you haven't got a full mind and you're not making complete logical sense and you can't talk for yourself properly, then what chance do you stand? Because I'll just say ignore what they're saying. You see, it won't make any sense. So these people are getting away with it, and you hear that all the time. That comes on the news. You've heard of them, care homes being closed down and things in the past, and it comes on all the time, things like this. All the corruption out there, because the world is a corrupt place now, unfortunately. And it's full of, unfortunately, in the world, there are more evil people than there are good. And that's the very sad thing. And we just hope that something powerful takes control of the evil soon before it gets out of control. And I really wish for that. I'm going to close up now. I just don't know how to turn this phone off. I don't even know. Okay, goodbye. Thank you.